Have you ever looked at the world and felt sick with it? Not with your life, but with what surrounds you? When truth is mocked, when power is wasted, when beauty is bought and justice is blindfolded for real. That's where this sonnet begins. This is Shakespeare, not as the poet of love, but of revolt, a man who's had enough. Enough of seeing virtue punished, enough of art censored, enough of liars dressed as sages and fools leading the wise. This isn't metaphor, it's a list, a catalogue of everything that broke him, and maybe breaks you too. He's not speaking from imagination. He's naming what he sees. Because the truth is, sometimes the poet doesn't want to create. He wants to scream. By the early 1600s, Shakespeare was no longer the wide-eyed bard. He had become a fixture in the royal court, but at a price. In Will in the World, Greenblatt reveals how deeply Shakespeare was entangled in a society built on appearance, allegiance, and surveillance. Elizabeth had died. The vibrant, dangerous, artistically fertile era of her reign had ended. In her place, King James I, a monarch obsessed with order, censorship, and control. The theatres, once spaces of resistance, now served under royal decree. Art made tongue-tied by authority. That's not a metaphor, it's testimony. He had seen poets jailed, playwrights silenced, ideas rewritten, power disguised as piety, and all around him, talent, real talent, left to starve, while parasites flourished in velvet robes. The Renaissance dream of enlightened rule was slipping away. As discussed in Shakespeare and the Poetics and Politics of Relevance, the gap between ideal and reality had become unbearable. The artist was now forced to flatter those who had no ear for truth. The stage, once his sanctuary, was now a minefield of compromise. He had to ask, was it still worth writing in a world where no one listened or cared? 12 lines, 12 indictments, a litany of injustice too precise to be fictional.
Tired with all these, for restful death I cry, as to behold desert a beggar born, and needy nothing trimmed in jollity, and purest faith unhappily forsworn, and gilded honor shamefully misplaced, and maiden virtue rudely strumpeted, and right perfection wrongfully disgraced, and strength by limping sway disableed, and art made tongue-tied by authority, and folly, doctor-like, controlling skill and simple truth, miscalled simplicity, and captive good attending captain ill. Tired with all these, from these would I be gone, save that to die I leave my love alone.
This sonnet is breath held in a clenched jaw, a quiet scream. Shakespeare holds a mirror to the world, and what he sees breaks his spirit. Corruption, injustice, hypocrisy, virtue turned into spectacle, power turned into parody, truth renamed as naivete, goodness kept in chains. And yet, he does not die. He does not leave. He stays, Why? Because of love. One person, one presence, one vow made in the shadow of all this ugliness. He is not saved by faith in society. He is saved by devotion, private, pure, a flame that burns quietly while the world drowns in smoke. As noted by Waller in late Shakespeare and the English Baroque, this sonnet is where the Baroque soul emerges. Fragile, furious, faithful. It is rebellion wrapped in restraint. Despair halted by tenderness. But love isn't always enough, because time doesn't stop. The voice once full begins to falter. The heart once bold now hesitates. What happens when the passion that kept you going fades? When your fire dims, not because of despair, but because of age? When the world doesn't break you, but wears you down? Shakespeare begins to ask, what does it mean to grow old in a world that forgets its poets? What does it mean to fade, slowly, like the autumn leaf? Sonnet 73, the season of passing, coming next. Enlighten my silence.